The latest development in the phone hacking scandal that has caught up News Corp in the UK. Rebekah Brooks is out as CEO of News International. That is the News Corp unit that published the paper at the center of this scandal, News of the World. With us now to talk about Rebekah Brooks' departure and what may happen next, Matt Harrigan of Wunderlich Securities. He is on the phone from Denver, Colorado. Matt is one of the most accurate analysts on News Corp. That makes him a Bloomberg best. He currently has a buy rating on the stock. Matt, Rebekah Brooks is gone, thrown under the bus, possibly. And James Murdoch says that News Corp is going to apologize to the United Kingdom together. This is a question I had for one of our reporters earlier today. Is that, in your mind, going to be enough to start to dampen this scandal and to give Rupert Murdoch an opportunity to put it behind him and get on with the business of News Corp?
Well, I think it was remarkable to an extent that Rebekah lasted as long as she did under the circumstances. I think the issue is whether there are other individuals, such as Les Hinton, who's now over with the Wall Street Journal, who could also be thrown under the bus, perhaps deservedly so, depending on what they did, perhaps not as deservedly, depending on what they didn't do. And I think it's also important to recognize, though, that the UK really has a fairly nasty history in tabloid journalism. It isn't just the Sun and News of the World, and it's certainly odd that some of the other tabloids haven't been hopping up and down, mocking news as much as you would think. So I suspect that this behavior is endemic, somewhat in the tabloid newspapers. Still, even after 170 years. So it certainly is not a positive commentary on News Corp, and it needs to be addressed very strongly. And it is an overhang, but unfortunately for the UK, I don't think it's unique to News Corp.
Matt, at what point does the political furor in the UK become an investment risk for News Corp?
I think it's certainly an overhang already, and I am decidedly in the camp that on account of this, he'll probably never be able to roll up the rest of B-Sky B, and perhaps even if there was pressure to divest the newspapers, which I think James Murdoch has been an advocate of, they could look at doing something. But under the circumstances of keeping both the newspapers and trying to roll up the rest of Sky, I think that's impossible even years from now.
Matt, one of the other recent developments is the disclosure or the news that the FBI is going to conduct an investigation of its own into whether News Corp newspapers did anything illegal in their efforts to learn about the victims of September 11th, 2011. Might that be an even bigger deal if they find something out than what we've seen unfold thus far in Britain?
I think it would certainly be a negative. As you know, there are moral clauses regarding television licenses and all that, and it certainly is an opportunity to pull the tiger's tail, given the profile of Fox News in the conservative movement. So it's certainly something to be careful of, and that you also have concerns with the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, as you know, related to the UK. If there's bribery there, News Corp is a U.S. domiciled corporation. That being said, I think there is a cultural issue. I suspect that the outright criminal actions didn't extend beyond a few individuals, but there's something that needs to be addressed, and certainly it is an albatross for the stock, perhaps for a considerable period of time, despite the really unique and strong franchises that News Corp has on a global basis.
Well, that raises ultimately for investors the most important question. If it's going to be an albatross for the stock for a period of time, at what point do you consider taking off your buy rating?
I am thoroughly bullish on the larger, integrated, media companies, the TV network business, everything happening there, the cable business, which is really the fulcrum for News Corp and the studio. So I think if you were a hedge fund manager, trying to look at your 6-month performance. Sorry.
I'm sorry we have to run.
Okay.
But want to thank you for joining us. Matt Harrigan of Wunderlich, one of the best analysts when it comes to News Corp.